Everything that we do, gotta do it straight. We can't cut corners. Gotta do it pabwa.
I'm live. Yeah.
Right, you balance.
Wait a minute.
Can you hear me? Hello? You in the air? Can you hear me? Hello?
What's good, family?
Hello?
No connection? Still on the mode. Definitely still on the mode.
Hello? Who's speaking?
So,
What's up? What is everything?
everything's great.
Good.
Oui, téléphone là.
Yes, ma'am. So, yeah, so what? Hello. Yeah. What is it? I think I have a wrong number. Alright. No, quand je sors, puis c'est comme ça, non? So, début, non, 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 c'est Concord.
Il va le montrer pour
What do you mean?
montrer les
Solution est what? Wait, this one? 347. Yeah, cool. Hello? Hello?
Hello?
It's live.
All right, you just keep going.
Okay, pass.
Oh, do you think that's when your brother's that's calling?
I don't know. I just started the live now. I'm gonna give the number again. What's good, family? So I'm at the radio station right now in Far Rockaway. What's the full name of the station, bro? I want to make sure.
Radio Balance.
So we're at Radio Balance, FM.com. The number is this number right here.
Yeah.
You guys can call in if y'all got questions. 347-727-7671. All right, so this is where I'm at. I'm in the radio station. My boy Wed is running the show. So if you guys want to call in, the number is 347-727-7671. I'm also going to put it in the chat. Yes, that is the number. Thank you. Thank you, Lola. Islam King, what's going on with you? What's going on with you? Wagwan, Wagwan. Okay. All right. I need a pen and pad.
Radio Balance, you in the air?
No.
Peace.
Peace. Do you have a question or you wanted to say something? Hello? Can you hear me? I'll try again.
No, I heard him when he first came. All right, y'all. So I got a pen and pad. I'm about to. Wagwan, my youth, brethren. Jamaica.
Hello, you in the air? Radio Balance.
Peace.
Peace, brother. Peace, brother.
Yes. The brother Q on the live. He there?
Yes, indeed. He's listening to you right now.
Peace, King.
What's going on with you?
I just want to speak. I wanted to speak about a court case and how to protect yourself on that.
Okay. Go ahead. Let's build.
Well, the thing is, if time is of the essence, how can you remain in honor and protect your property?
Now, also it depends on the context of the case. So I'm assuming the case is dealing with property.
Well, the case started off as traffic, but it has evolved into criminal.
Okay. Is there an injured party?
Absolutely not.
Okay. Are they identifying you in the system according to the straw?
Let me see here. Actually, not the straw that I'm under. No, absolutely not. And actually, on the slip that they gave me after they arrested me, it has no name on it whatsoever.
No name on it.
No name whatsoever. No name, no indictment number, nothing. It just has a date and just has a date. That's it. I was in my automobile and I was traveling on my way to my domicile, and I was pulled over. Just pulled over, DWB. You heard the whole, without going into all that. I was subsequently arrested, and during the arraignment, of course, the arraignment comes after I've been incarcerated for 24 hours. The arraignment came the next day, and they wanted me to plead to charges that would keep me on probation for a year.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, you gotta be sure. You gotta be sure.
Let me give me help. You don't have to hold on. I'm looking right to. I can show it to you.
Okay.
I mean, I can tell you it says criminal court, city of New York. That's it.
Criminal court. There's no such thing as criminal court. We all understand that. However, physically, they're still.
So.
Okay.
I'm thinking. What my thinking is just to protect me at this junction, because time is of the essence. I'm thinking maybe just an affidavit to state that I'm a live being. Would that suffice as far as separating myself from this property and keeping them from treating me as child?
Honestly, I can't say that honestly, yes. Nah, that's not enough.
Right, I understand.
It's not enough. Honestly, if you feel like time is of the essence, but at the same time you're not in your proper person, maybe the wise thing to do would be to just close.
Okay, so I would go through the injunction way to get remedy.
Yeah, because once an injunction in place, that means that all litigation in all cases have to come to a halt. Because one of the issues dealing with an injunction is, one, a federal question, all right, which deals with whether this is a constitutional issue or not. And the second issue that injunction deals with is diversity of citizenship.
Okay.
So, that's why I said when you said the affidavit, you're already doing that with the injunction, because you're already establishing there's a diversity of citizenship.
Right.
So literally the only way to get your justice is going to be through the Supreme Court. So
just so I could try to wrap this up in my mind. So what you would say would to be filed an injunction, would that be under deprivation of rights under color of law?
absolutely. But all those are once again, that's a federal question, meaning it's constitutional.
Right.
You are correct. And that's the main thing that the Supreme Court deals with, the federal question and also diversity of citizenship. This is also where you will find consular courts at.
Okay, I understand, King. How do we build? Sunel University at Gmail?
Yes, suneluniversity@gmail.com.
Okay. Because I follow you online, King, so when I seen that you was when I saw you was in the area, I definitely wanted to build with you.
Well, Islam, I appreciate you, man. Just keep in touch. Email me, and like I said, we can move forward from there as far as building, especially if you're out here in New York.
Peace, King, peace. Appreciate the time.
No doubt. Islam, my brother.
We give say thank you to the caller again. We give thanks also for Brother Q for being here. Again, the number to call is 347-727-7671. If you have any questions, we have the answer for you. You're listening to our journey of conscience, our journey of courage, our journey of confidence. Radio Balance, la radio qui fait toute la différence.
An injunction goes a long way, y'all. Injunction. As long as you don't have an injunction out, you're still agreeing to the doctrine of discovery. And also, too, it's hard to try to correct the record overnight while you're going through a situation. That's real difficult, too. You know what I'm saying? Too many things going on at one time. Got to be in a clear headspace, not dealing with any issues. So that's why, reference, if you're going to go fight that, go with the injunction, you know what I'm saying? Deal with that in federal court under Constitution and treaty protections, or just do what's necessary to get that issue dealt with, and just know moving forward, you'll have everything right. Because, it's not a long process, but it doesn't happen like that. Some things have to happen. You have to go to certain places and do certain things and correct certain records. You know what I'm saying? It's a process. So that's why it's hard when you're going through in the middle of a situation. Now, you're trying to assert jurisdiction when you've already, submitted to it, without you realizing it. But this is why they say ignorance of the law is no excuse. That's the only thing they got to use against us, y'all. The fact that ignorance of it is no excuse. Because if it wasn't an excuse, they would be fucked. So that's all they got as far as karma goes. Injunction. What did I hear?
Again, if you have any question, you can call. The number is 347-727-7671. 347-727-7671.
Feel free to call in.
Feel free to call in.
I'm writing down some of these things. Is there another pen?
It's not writing.
Oh, there's a couple back here. There we go. I'm gonna lay it out step by step. So the first process is research the court process of your state territory. You got to know how your state functions. Every state is different. Every state got its own personality. Every state got its own personality. Second step. Once you figure out what the process is and what the state requirements are, you're either going to do two things. Correction. So, I guess I should just do it like this. Here we go. Research the court process of your state territory, file a declaration at the county recorders, or do the name correction process through the state. All right. 3.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Step. After you do the process, either or, whichever one you do, filing your declaration at the county recorders, or you're going through the name correction process through the state court. After you do the process, either or, get a certified copy of your court order. Go and get a state ID photo with religious headdress. Okay? Okay. You need an example of what I'm talking about? Oh, that's the other number to call?
No, to block it.
Oh, block it. Okay. Thank you. Perfect. See this here? Okay. That's what that means. Update. Okay. Get your religious title. Make sure you take a photo with your religious headdress on. Make sure. Look. See here? Yeah. There you go. Let you focus from there. There you go. I wrote without prejudice and then I signed my name through it. Can you see it? Can you see it? Without prejudice, then I signed my name through it. Okay? Everything is reflected. See that? Okay. I still have my self-identification though. You understand? I have self-identification. Where you see, same title. See? Same title. Although it's in all caps. You understand this is a company. Irregardless, this is my company logo. You get it? This is the company logo. This is the company. This is the logo. Make sure your logo has your religious headdress on. That part. Oh. And there are some states that require you to go to the Social Security first. Whatever the requirements of that state is, that's where you go. Okay? So if the state requires you to get the name correction, then go to Social Security first before you can get the state ID. Go to Social Security, bring your court order. Now this is where the SS5 form comes into play. Hmm? Is there a printer in here? Yeah. Yeah, it's all right. I don't need it. Yeah, I don't need it. Yeah, y'all heard me talk about this enough. The SS5 form. So. Number 4, go to Social Security, update your info on the SS5 form at your local Social Security Administration office. Okay? Now, number what question was that? That's question number 18. Question number, I believe that's 4, dealing with citizenship. Okay. pay attention to question number 18 and 4 on that form. There's also another question, but hopefully you pull up the form while I'm talking so you see what I'm saying, all right? But on the SS5 form, number 1 is going to ask you your current legal name, okay? So my current legal name, right, is this, okay? Not my lawful name, my legal name. Not my lawful name, my legal name. There's no such thing as a lawful name. What you have is a title of nobility. This is not my title of nobility. This is my legal name. Legal, okay? So, unfortunately, I don't have the updated Social Security with me. That's in Washington. So, but if I were to present that to you, the title would be the same on that Social Security card, okay? So it would match. Now, on that SS5 form, I put my legal name, but they also ask for your given name at birth, the name of the estate. So that's the name on the Social Security, okay? So that name would go there. Then they, like I said, they ask you for the name at birth, which would be the name on the birth certificate. Then they ask you for citizenship. The citizenship is citizen. Now, a lot of people are like, skirt, what do you mean by that? Let me explain something to y'all. You see this piece of paper? This is no different than a birth certificate, right? This is a birth certificate, as an example. You see this thin, flat piece of paper? That's 2D. It's flat. Let me write it. I want this to be very clear. Okay. So this is the birth certificate. Okay. This is the U.S. citizen. This. See this? This is the U.S. citizen. The U.S. citizen isn't a flesh and blood being because the United States is a corporation. Corporations cannot produce flesh and blood beings. Corporations can only produce other corporations and chattel paper. Okay? So the birth certificate or the certificate of live birth is the U.S. citizen. Period. Period. Research what I'm saying and prove me wrong. That's my challenge. Research what I'm saying and prove me wrong. Prove to me that the birth certificate is not the U.S. citizen. Okay? Now, then you have to ask certain questions. If a piece of paper is the U.S. citizen, if I hold this next to me, do we look alike? Do me and this look alike? Let me turn to. Am I the same as this? Does this have fingers? Does this have eyes, nose, mouth, teeth, hair, thoughts, personality? Does it? Does this have all that? Is this me? No. This is the U.S. citizen. So, when I say that we are creditors of the United States, who's the creditors of the United States? The indigenous people on the land in their proper person is the creditor. Okay? This is me. This is how I identify me. Okay? This is my lawful title. This is my lawful title. Okay? This is my legal name. This is my estate. Okay? This is why it's in all caps. It's my estate. All right? So, I am the creditor of this. Because then you got to look at this. Look. It's thin. It's 2D. It's 2D. It's 2D. I'm going to do this again. Am I this? Are we identical? Does this have nose, teeth, fingers? Can this speak? No, it cannot. No, it cannot. This is also a U.S. citizen. This, not me, not me. Not me, this flat thing here, okay? They got us to think that our minds are this. So wherever our mind goes, our body follows, all right? So when you update your information at the Social Security, it's okay, put the free national name, put the name at birth, put the Social Security number, okay? That's the number for your estate. Citizenship is U.S. citizen, all right? Now, if you look at question number 18, it says, what is your relationship to the person? What is your relationship to the person listed in item number 1? A person is a company, a corporation, a trust, a partnership, a LLC, a sole proprietor, unincorporated association. This is what a person is, okay? So what is your relationship to the person listed in item number 1? What was in item number 1? My legal name, right? And my previous legal name, or I should say my legal name at birth. Okay? So what is my relationship to the person listed in item number 1? Am I self? Should I say that person is me? Am I a person, or am I a natural person? See? I'm not self. So no, don't hit self. Don't hit the first box. Don't hit the second box. I believe the second box says, was that guardian? Or natural parent or guardian. Nope, you're not that either. I believe number 3 is authorized representative. No, you're not the authorized representative, because the authorized representative is still not an owner. An authorized representative is someone who was given authority by the owner to represent them. So no, we're not the authorized representative. Our trust is actually the authorized representative. But that's a whole nother conversation. I don't want to get y'all confused right now. You would hit other. You would hit other, okay? And in other, you would write registered owner. Let me write this out. So mind you, y'all, I'm sharing with y'all my journey and my experience. If y'all wondering how I know all this stuff up to this point, it's because I had to bump my own head. I didn't have anybody to lay out this process for me. So this is what you write for question number 18. In registered owner. You know why? ABC, authenticate the birth certificate. When you authenticate, or I should say when you authenticate your certificate of live birth, okay, and you get it all the way up to state, to federal, you become the holder in due course. and that copy is now an original. So you now, for everyone who's authenticated their birth certificate or their certificate of live birth, they have, okay, an original. They're holding an original. They're not holding a copy of a certificate of live birth. They're holding the live birth. Okay? It's the original. So when you're holding the original, you're now the holder in due course, which makes you what? The registered owner. So your relationship to the person listed in item number 1 in the Social Security Administration's records should be registered owner. You're the registered owner of a U.S. citizen, right? You're the registered owner of the birth certificate, which is the U.S. citizen. So you own your U.S. citizen. You own the U.S. citizen. That's what makes you a creditor in your proper person. In your proper person, you are the heir. You're the heir of the estate. What estate? That birth certificate is your estate. The birth certificate is your estate. And then for other people who would say, hey, doesn't doing this put you back in jurisdiction? I don't want to hear that no more. Because that at that point is just letting me know that Moors ain't studying. Even Moors who are out here putting information are not studying. Look at this. This one got a grip. I got one. Yeah, this one's working fine now. Okay. So, don't take nothing that I say. You can look this up yourself. Okay? I wrote this from memory because I done read it enough times. IRS Manual 21.7.13.3.2.2. Section 2, Clause 2. The infant is the decedent or grantor, owner, receiver of an estate that is yet to receive a Social Security number. So when we were classified as Negro colored, we were considered a decedent. A decedent is a dead person. A dead person. A dead person. Also known as civil liter mortuus. Dead in the eyes of the law. Dead in the eyes of the law. Decedent. Dead person. Okay? So either you are this or you're the grantor, owner, receiver of an estate that is yet to receive a Social Security number. So us reclaiming our indigenous status and coming back to our proper person puts us back in heirship, which puts us back on this side of the or, rather than this side of the ore. We don't want to be here. We've been here our whole lives. We thought life was based on here, but there's another side. There's an or. We can be this or that. We can be the grantor, the owner, the receiver. What came first? The birth certificate came first, and then we were given a social security number for that estate. The birth certificate is the U.S. citizen. You are the owner, the grantor, the receiver of a U.S. citizen. This is why you are the registered owner when you go through the process of authenticating the certificate of live birth. You're setting the record straight. You're correcting the record back to what it should have been from the beginning. From the beginning, it should have been this, not this. So this is what we're correcting. We're not a decedent. We are alive. We are not several little mortus. We are in full life. Okay? So that is what you should have in the Social Security information on the SS5 form when you go to update. Your legal name. Remember, maintain U.S. citizenship status for that bond or that birth certificate. And make sure you classify yourself in relation to the entity as the registered owner. This is what I have in their system. This is what they see me as in their system. As this. Okay? So I didn't do a SF-181 form. I did the SS5 form, and I walked into the Social Security Administration. Okay? Oh, and don't forget either. Another important part of that SS5 form. Hold up. The race and ethnicity portion. I want to make sure you have American Indian and white. American Indian and white. We are not black. We are not African American. Blacks have no origins in no peoples nowhere. American Indians are persons having origins in any of the original peoples of North, South, Central America. Okay? Now, and also white having origins in any of the original peoples of Europe, which would be my cousins, the Middle East, which would be the middle of Africa, and North Africa, all right, which is the other part of the Maghreb. So, understanding all these things and knowing the relationship, okay, between you and the person as the registered owner, now you have to look at this question now, race and ethnicity. Are you an American Indian? Well, not you, is the entity. Right? Let's realize it's not you they're asking for. They're asking for the information regarding the entity. So is the entity an American Indian? Does the entity have origins in, what is that? Is the entity a person, right? Right? They look at that. They tell you right now, what is an American Indian? A person. A person. A person. Am I a person? No. Because a person is a corporation, a trust, an unincorporated association, a partnership, LLC, all these other type of entities. That's what a person is. A person is not a flesh and blood being. So it tells you right there in your face. American Indian is a person having origins in the original peoples. So who's the original peoples of North, South, Central America? So in reference to my person, right? Who would be the person or the people that my person has origins in? That is original to North, South, Central America. Because my person, right, has origins in any of the original peoples of North, South, Central America. So who would classify as the people in reference to that particular person? That would be me, see? So I'm the people that person has origins in. Read the definition, persons having origins in any of the original people. There's a difference between person and people. So my estate or my US citizen is a person, and I am the people in which that person has origins in. Does that make sense? So my US person has origins in an indigenous human being, an indigenous man that is bound to the American continent. It has origins from me because it is made in my likeness and my image. Okay? That's about as go as far as that step right there, right? Now, once you update that, social, right? What's left after that? I hope this has been thorough and clean to the point. Step number 5. Thank you for bearing with me. I'm just writing so I could read it. All right. Step 5. Apply for a passport. Input the social security. Put the social security number in. Why? Because you have reclaimed your estate. What are you afraid of? That was the whole purpose of coming here. This is why we go here, to correct this record to this and to make sure it's reflecting this. Okay? Because we're in alignment with this. Because we are not this, we are this. This is what we are. So we're lining it up. What are you afraid of? This is your estate. Okay? So when we get to this point here, okay, when you apply for your passport, there's certain things you're going to need to send along with the application. And yes, I will put out a video in the future, in the very near future, on how to fill out the passport, because there's some things that I've learned since the time where I last put the video out that I got to update. Okay? But along with your passport application, guess what you're going to send? You're going to send your authenticated birth certificate. You're going to send a photo of your state ID. And then you're going to get a missionary verification letter from an indigenous mission or consulate. Either if you've established your own tribe, then your tribe can write a verification letter on your behalf, establishing the fact that you are a missionary and that you are part of a indigenous religious society. Or if you're Dolo, you can write your own letter verifying your damn self that you're in alignment with what the prophet laid down and you're carrying on the mission. Either or. This is the steps. This is the ingredients. This is why we line everything up. Okay? So this is where this is where I'm at right now. Okay? Step number 6. Once you get the passport, rescind the state ID contract. As you can see, I haven't rescinded mine as yet. Okay? Hasn't come in as yet. And move forward with your national ID and passport. Because the state ID, okay, is what they consider state property. So once you have your passport, there's no need to have this, because you can still conduct business using your passport. Because the passport is in alignment with the treaty. Okay? The passport is in alignment with the treaty because we're dealing with Christian ports and Moorish ports. Okay? So all of us, once we get to the apex of this process, we're all supposed to have our national ID or self-identification and our passport. Okay? And this is how we avoid issues altogether, because we'll be in full alignment, being in their system, classified as the majority registered owner, as a people, not as a person, but a people in ownership of a person. I hope I'm not confusing y'all. We are peoples, we are not persons. We as peoples have ownership of persons. If you look at the Fourth Amendment in the Constitution, it says that we have a right to be secured in our property, our papers, and our persons. Our persons, okay? And this is it, y'all. This is the whole game. But you got Moors that's prolonging it because they want to tell you to not correct the record publicly when all the issues we're having is in the public. So we're having the issues in the public, but then we don't want to fix the shit in the public. That don't make sense to me. It don't. So this is it, y'all. This is the process. Okay? Y'all can go back, watch this video, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. All right? Now, there's some other things that need to get done, but we can't even talk about those things yet. We can't even talk about some of those things yet. like the IRS Form 56, like the IRS Form 521, like the IRS Form 56, 521. Oh yeah, we already went through the SS5 form. But yeah, the IRS 521 form, the form 56, right? Termination of or revocation of fiduciary. This all goes into creating your estate, making your straw man into an estate, and making your foreign trust a responsible party, in alignment with Article 22 of the Treaty of Peace and Friendship, also in alignment with UCC, Uniform Commercial Codes, Article 9-311, perfection of security interests, subject to statutes, regulation, and treaties. All right, so you understand by now that I'm operating fully under treaty law. So this is why there's no need for the UCC. It's really straightforward. You got to go in, correct the public so it can match your private. You got to correct the, or you want the lower self to match the higher self, okay? So the public is what you would consider the lower self. The private is the higher self. So in your higher self, you know who you are, you know your title, you know what you're about, and you know your worth. So why do you not want that reflected? Or why do you not want that to be reflected back to you when you step out of your private? If that was reflected back to you, wouldn't that give you more energy, more power to stand on your square? If you was getting back what you were giving to yourself? Because in yourself, you know who you are, but in the outside world identifies you as otherwise. So there's a confusion. It's like schizo. At home, you know, you're free, and outside you're a slave. It's like the Matrix. At home, he was Neo, and then at work, he was Thomas Anderson. It can't be like that. You're going to cause schizophrenia in the mind. Everything has to be in alignment. Simplicity is bliss. You have to keep it simple so that way you have less issues, less hiccups, less room for situations. No one, nowhere in any of their records can ever classify me again as ever being Black or African American. Not in my private records and not in their private records. It don't matter if it pisses them off. It doesn't matter. They have an obligation to respect my religious freedoms, which is given to me by my creator, my mother and my father. So as far as that goes, those rights are inalienable. They're God-given. All right. So that's really the game. You know, I'll take some more time to break down those other forms, Form 56, etc. But follow those steps that I just laid out. Okay. Don't get distracted. Stay focused. Stay on task. If you're focused, this will get done very quickly. If you're not focused, this will drag out. You can't be half foot in and half foot out. It's either you're all in or you're all out. Okay? You all in and you all out. And I'm about to give y'all a jewel because I love y'all so goddamn much. Federal taxes is a contract issue. I'm going to say that one more time. Federal taxes is a contract issue. It has nothing to do with nationality, it has nothing to do with status. It's bottom line volunteering. It's no different than if you were to go into a church you've never been in before, and all of a sudden, just because you see everybody else putting money in the donation, you want to put money in the donation. So guess what? That was voluntary. Once you put that shit in the donation, you can't get that shit back. Now you have a choice though. When that basket comes around, you have a choice to say, no, I'm not going to put anything in. Or you can choose to put something in. Now, if you choose not to put anything in, guess what? Where does that money stay? Or where do those notes stay? In your pocket, right? To be used for other purposes that you may find worthy. So I'm saying all that to say is that if you're experiencing federal taxes, like right now, you can remove that right now, like tonight. So if any of you are doing direct deposit, okay, and there's federal taxes, federal, I'm not talking about state, because the trust deals with state. I'm talking about federal. if you're dealing with federal taxes right now, you can remove those from your check tonight. Okay, go online. If you're getting paid direct deposit, go online to your payroll. All right, whatever your payroll may be. I know when I used to work a couple years ago, the last payroll I had online was ADP. I don't even know what the shit stood for, but it was ADP. Okay, so whatever your payroll is, go on that payroll, go to the area where it's talking about your tax information. Okay, what you want to do is the place you're going to find to update your information in regards to it asking is what you're making considered taxable income. You know, they'd have a box. Yo, there's a box, y'all. One box says yes and the other box says no. Okay, then I gotta ask you, is what you're making at your job income? Do you know what income is? Let me tell you what income is, just in case. Income is money you receive from an investment. Okay? To make it simple, income is the money you receive from making an investment. Income is money you do not physically have to work for. Okay? So if you do not make an investment at your job with your notes, then you are not receiving income. Okay? When you physically work and labor for your wages, that is what it is called. It is called wages. Okay? And wages are not taxable because wages are private. But you need to know that to know how to move properly. So if you're suffering right now due to federal taxes being taken from your check and you're indigenous, I'm here to tell you right now that it's voluntary and you're suffering at your own power. So go on your whatever it is, ADP, whatever thing you use for your online thing, update it. Click no when they say, is anything you make taxable income? No, it is not. That's what you click. Click no, and then hit submit. You know what's going to happen after you hit the submit button? It's going to say the changes will be shown in the next pay period. And then when your next check should come, it should be a good amount bigger due to the fact that what was once being taken out under federal taxes is now staying in your check. It's staying in your pocket. You get to bring that back home to your family like it should have been in the first place. So once again, if you're dealing with federal taxes, you can take care of that right now. That is a contract issue. It's literally you saying, do you volunteer your wages or don't you? If you don't, hit no. If you don't know and you're afraid of the IRS and you live in fear, then you're going to hit yes. You see how fear makes you avoid the better route, which you know works out better for you. You'll have more of your energy back in your pockets. How could that be a disadvantage? Now you have more money to do things with. Now you can start thinking about, I can fund my own business. Let me invest in this. Let me invest in that. Let me put these funds to support my brother or sister. They're on the come up. Now I got extra funds that could go around. There's so many things you can do when you have more. Okay? The system tries to keep us at less. They don't want us to be more up in here, but they ain't got no choice in the matter because we already here. And we cracked the code. It's over. Okay? So if you're suffering with federal, you can deal with federal right now, tonight. Hop on your ADP, and don't just hop on there and be reckless. Listen to what I'm saying and then research it first. Don't be hasty. Look, go on your your thing online. Look at it, read through it, try to understand how it's set up. Find your tax information, sit down and read. And you'll see the whole time you've been volunteering your money to the federal. So you can stop it, all right? So that's what I want to leave y'all with, family, all right? So you can take that and build on that. Appreciate y'all. Your brother Cool. I got a lecture going on tomorrow. So that being said, family, peace. Have a good night. Just keep this on rewind and just rewind it back in your mind. This is all this is. It's nothing more, nothing less. All right. That being said, fam, I bid you adieu. Peace.